Welcome back.
Thank you. I got ours. I just need theirs.
So we've been playing it, so like one umpire had us like, even if it's just like propped up on the fence, it's dead as soon as it's behind the wood. But I hated that because there's nothing affecting it, so you just like grab it. Yeah, so I feel like goes track in there or goes under the fence.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 11 o'clock, so no new inning past 10:45, no pitch, 10, 7. How many you want to start with?
Bruce.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Blue Sox on 3, 1, 2, 3, Blue Sox!
Chris starting and Ernie's at second, right?
Yeah, I know. We'll stand back there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. You want a back game?
Say hi to the folks at home, Rick.
Hey, you got married, huh?
Goddamn right.
Nice kid. Where was the wedding?
Maine.
Oh, nice. You don't live up there.
My grandfather lived at the home where the wedding was held until Jeff 97. All right. It's YouTube. I can get away with saying that. Mad apologies, though. And yeah, as Sammy Steed pointed out, I'm married now. From Maplewood Field at Malden Catholic High School in Malden, Mass. This is Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network here on YouTube. Tonight, the second half begins as the Blue Sox with a record of 5-6 take on the Sabertooth Expos with a record of 11-2. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Hi, Katrina. I love you. I'm not going to try and wax poetic on my own life too much, but y'all know if you listen to my story, last year after I came back last summer, and if you follow me on LSP as well, you know the story of how the horror story of how I almost died. Katrina got me to the hospital in time. She's the reason I'm still alive. Putting a ring on it was the least I could do. And, just everything in between over the last year and a half has helped me keep perspective on life. And I think it's important for the Blue Sox to keep perspective, too, despite the up and down first half of the season. Let's see if Ernie Little can get the Blue Sox off to a good start here in July. As he takes strike one, we're underway, first pitch at 8:06 p.m. Blue Sox and Navy and the Expos and the classic Baby Blues. Sam Steed calls strike 2, 0-2 to Ernie Little. Fouled off, remains 0-2 to Ernie getting the start at second base tonight. Morgan Brown in the number 10 slot tonight at short. Nick Johnson getting the start for the Expos tonight. The righty comes into play 3-0 with an ERA on just over .6, and that's a good reason why, as he gets Little to swing and miss for the first out of the ball game. So Johnson now up to 48 strikeouts in 23 1/3 innings. Enters play 3-0 with three complete games, 23 innings. Last pitch on June 22nd against Malden only went 2 innings. And that's con missed by Austin Maisel for strike 1. But 23 innings, .609 ERA, 12 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which earned, walked 6, struck out 47. Hit 4 batters, no home runs allowed, though. Ernie Little, Austin Maisel, and Julian Alvarez due up here in the top of the first for the Blue Sox. Trying to get back on the winning track, and I'll give you more about, the whole keep in perspective comment as we progress here, as it's swung on, miss off speed pitch. Over the top by Maisel, 1-2. Blue Sox were a game below 500. Entering Sunday's game against Melrose in 1-2. The Blue Sox, again, 1-2, one game under 500 going into Sunday's game against Melrose. They were leading 1-0 going into the 6th, and then had their biggest single offensive inning of the season with 8 runs to turn into a 9-0 blowout against Melrose. That was on Sunday. Monday almost coughed up that momentum in the most unbelievable way, as that is caught at third for out number 2. The relay around the horn afterward is off target, but it doesn't matter as Maisel has popped out. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Julian Alvarez. The Blue Sox were down 7-1 going into the bottom of the 5th of the Lexington Bulldogs, and then came back to win it. It was their biggest comeback win of the 400-hitter era since 2006, when ICL stats were being kept online. Jules takes strike 1, best hitter for the Blue Sox in the first half of the season. And then the next 2 nights, a couple of winnable games that they end up losing, as it just misses inside to even the count. And 1-1. It got no hit by the Malden Mad Dogs for the Mad Dogs' first win of the year, a game that they actually scored the first run in, and were leading 1-0 with 6 outs to get. But ended up losing that game 4-1 to the Mad Dogs. Again, the first win of the year for Malden. And then the next night, and that was here at Maplewood. And the next night, here at Maplewood. 3 runs given up in the bottom of the 7th as Alvarez comes up empty there, 2-2. So at the end of that week, you're back where you started that week. 1 game under 500, 4th in the ICL standings. As that's down and away, 3-2 behind the Expos, Chiefs, and the Melrose Americans. There's any silver lining. You still got more than half your games left. 14 games in the month of July for the Blue Sox. As Alvarez comes up empty for strike 3, and the side is retired in order. Easy breezy 1-2-3-Z with 2 strikeouts in the inning for Johnson. And it is Blue Sox nothing, Expos coming up. Love you too, Katrina. All right, so I'll give you the full Blue Sox lineup. Haven't put in the Expos lineup in my card yet, but here's a full Blue Sox lineup. Yeah, it's Ernie Little leading off at second base, followed by Austin Maisel in center. Julian Alvarez is in right. DJ Johnson is in left tonight. Jake Elberry is at third. Craig Corliss is behind the plate. Andrew Salim is the DH. Pat Casserly is the EH. Nate Wolf is at first, and Morgan Brown rounds out the lineup at short. Chris Wannett will get the start on the mound for the Blue Sox tonight. The Blue Sox best pitcher on the in the first half. You can say that pretty easily. Leads the team in innings pitched. 175 ERA. He's played and pitched 5 games in 6 appearances. He's 1-0 with that 175 ERA in 16 innings. He's allowed 13 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 2, struck out 13, surrendered no home runs, and hit no batters. Not committed a balk, thrown only 1 wild pitch. Last I guess the Expos was on June 20th. And went 4 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Unfortunately for the Blue Sox, it was a 4-1 Expos win in the end, with the Expos getting all of their runs after Wannett had left the game, pitches 4 innings. Both teams getting a run in the 5th in that game, and then the Expos pulling away with 3 in the top of the 6th. So we'll go to the bottom of the first. Wannett delivers. Foul off for strike 1 to Idelson Taveras. Taveras entering play at slash line of 333, 500, 429, 7 hits and 21 at-bats, 2 doubles, no ribbies, and he's behind 0-2 as Sammy Steed calls strike 2 there. I see a Hall of Famer and former Blue Sox pitcher, Sam Steed, as that is outside for ball 1. I do recognize the picture being a little dark right now. I'll brighten it between innings. Hopefully sunset isn't will be after the 3rd out of this inning. 1-2 to Taveras. Just high. Ball 2. Corliss says good spot. Quick worker is Wannett the pitch. Swung on. Popped up on the infield. Morgan Brown. Fight fiercely Harvard. 1 up, 1 down. Matt Consigli will bat second for the Expos, and another first pitch strike for Wannett. Oh, and 2 to Consigli. Reaches for that one and fouls it off to stay alive. Consigli entering play, slashing 310, 459, 483 with 2 doubles, 1 homer, and 11 RBIs. And once again, unable to get the edge is Wannett. It's ball 1. Grounder up the middle and through for a base hit. Consigli is aboard. Our first base runner of the ball game belongs to the Expos. And here is Andrew Mazzoni. Does nobody else get the Balmer accent joke? You all missed me, and you know it. I had a good reason, though. I got married. Yeah, I know. I was shocked, too. You people mean the world to me. Now, Mazzoni. Going all Andrew Mazzoni again this year in the ICL. Having another fantastic offensive year, but he fouls that one off for a strike one. Mazzoni, look at this slash line. 429, 541, 929. OPS of 1471. 2 doubles, 4 homers, 17 ribbies, 5 walks to 4 strikeouts. Thank you so much. I mean, it happened. That's the important thing. Are you pitching tonight, or do you want to grab the second headset, Rhino? The people want to hear someone who knows what they're talking about, Rhino. It's a count anyways. 2 strikes at least. Snap throw back down to first, and back safely is Consigli. Count, Sammy? Thank you. You don't get that kind of interaction in many other leagues. Oofa, 2-2. Again, I will brighten the picture between innings, assuming this thing doesn't take too long. Fouled off, just barely able to get a piece. There was Mazzoni. Don't know if they would have gotten Consigli if it had been fouled off and Corliss was able to hang on to it, but would have at least gotten Mazzoni out, and that's a tough task in and of itself. But he stays alive, and now he comes up empty for strike 3. 2 down, Mazzoni out, and also critically, Consigli still at first. Giannis Quezada with the trying to go for Rafi Devers or Luis Gonzalez with that stance. I don't know, but he's going to have to wait for his first pitch. There's a check at first, and Consigli is back safely. Quezada, 211, 348, 474 slash line this season with 2 doubles, 1 homer, 3 ribbies, and 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. The guys at the top of the Expos order, they are great hitters, and they got great discipline too. As Quezada comes up empty on that one for strike 1. I mean, I mentioned a couple guys already. Great power numbers, and they also walk more than they strike out. But in this case, Quezada behind 0-1. We saw Mazzoni go down on strikes, and that'll be a called strike 2 to Quezada, the Expos catcher. Consigli at first after the 1-out single. 2 down now. Pitch outside. Throw down to second. And it was a bobbled throw into second. And Consigli's going to have the stolen base. 1-2. Runner in scoring position for Quezada. Again, only batting .211 this season for the Expos. A little bit of a down year from his 1130 OPS last year. But he's got a chance to put the Expos in front with a base hit. He can do it with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Little blooper into left field. He gets the job done as here comes Consigli to make it 1-0. Boy, you get Mazzoni, then you have 2 strikes on Cazada, but you can't get out of the inning unscathed. The Expos lead 1-0. Consigli had his first home base attempt wiped out by the foul ball as this is into right field, pitching the bat and watching it fly for a home run. 3-0 Expos. Leon Paulino sends it out. Not too hard of a task at Maplewood, but an impressive blast nonetheless. And from being 1 strike out of getting out of the inning unscathed to a 3-0 deficit for the Blue Sox. So an uncharacteristic situation here for Chris Want to be roughed up and early too. Hasn't been invincible, but had the ball thrown back, I guess. But Leon Paulino with the 2-run shot to right center, and this will be strike 1. Again, folks, I know about the picture, so bear with me. Fouled off and be strike 2 to Ryan Cloutier. Up and away for ball 1. I'm going to take care of the brightness now. Sorry, folks.
Full count. I'd rather take the walk. Yes, sir. I'm gone.
They have a couple of them. Tommy, you got that ball? Throw it in.
2 strikes again for Wanted, and he can't put away his man. Cloutier gets plunked.
Really?
That's the mic I was looking for. You heard me anyway. You heard me probably panting over the camera too. Things can change at a drop of a hat. One of these days I will tell you about, the whole perspective thing I was trying to get at earlier. Swung on and missed for strike 1. By the way, with the camera now being brighter, if I had this brightness earlier, y'all wouldn't have been able to see anything. So. Manual settings for the right frame rate and everything is in the left center field, and DJ makes the catch for out number 3, but 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 left as the Expos lead 3-0 after 1. The whole thing about perspective, especially with the Malden loss, every team is going to lose games that you think should be winnable. Doesn't matter the sport. The 2018 Red Sox got no hit by the Oakland A's. The A's weren't nearly as bad as they are this year, of course, but it was still kind of surprising. There were also no hit by Sean Manaea, who, while a good pitcher, is a lefty against a lineup that has a lot of really good, that had a lineup of a lot of really good righties. So, it's rough, but another thing you got to think about, I guess, is Maplewood can be a bugaboo. It's a weird field. Told you all I've told you all before. It's closer to dead center than it is down the lines here. 345 down the lines, 335 to dead center. So Paulino's home run might not be out in some ballparks. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, 3 teams call this field home in the ICL. You have to come here, minimum 6 times a year. And you got to compete. You go into the Blue Sox stats, 5-6 through the first half of the season as DJ fouls this one off for strike 1. Johnson, Elberry, and Corliss due up here in the top of the second. Go back to the Blue Sox schedule in just a moment, but for a team with a lot of good power hitters, think, any team with good power hitters, like, why isn't every game at this park 11-10, or are we stupid or whatever? But no, it's just how baseball is, folks. Sometimes the pitching is really good. I mean, you got Nick Johnson, Chris Wannett, all these great pitchers over the years that have played their home games at Maplewood. Jared Frenny, for example, Zach Kirby, and then you can call this a little league park all you want, but the fact is, baseball is not played on paper, and baseball is not played just by looking at the dimensions. It's human beings. So you got to keep perspective on that sort of thing. Just like I've had to try and keep perspective on, when things may go wrong or right, no matter, or in between, even if stuff defies explanation, it's tough, but some things defy explanation, and you got to live with it. You're only human after all, right? DJ just wiping his brow here to call time. Do not want sweat in your eyes when dealing with a good pitcher like Johnson. And down 3-0 here and needing to get at least something back here on the top of the second. Fouled off. How much we got? What we got there on the gun? 85? All right. I need to get one of those for my own use, Don't have something to put in to display on the score bug or anything. But yeah. They break easy though, don't they? Yeah, been a while since the guy with the hat behind home plate at Dodger Stadium pointed the big old radar gun at his pitcher. Swung on and missed by DJ for out number 1. 3 strikeouts already for Johnson. 1 down here in the top of the second, and entering that plate appearance, DJ was batting .235 with 4 hits, 1 home run, 1 RBI. With that 1 home run and RBI, that mammoth solo shot on opening night against the Lexington Bulldogs. That'll miss inside for ball 1 to Jake Elberry. couple days off, after a couple of games off, DJ went 1 for 3 with a strikeout against Andre in the last game before the break, and now he's got another hit. You know, sometimes, not DJ, excuse me. Elberry's got a hit here, my bad. Stuck on DJ's numbers while Elberry's, I called it being Elberry at bat too, but again, I got to get back in game shape. All right, so Elberry at first with 1 down for Craig Corliss. Elberry was, in fact, 1 for 3 against the Chiefs in the Blue Sox last game in his season debut for the Blue Sox. Craig Corliss with a runner on as the Blue Sox get their first hit of the ball game. Good job by Elberry to get aboard there. You don't want to let Johnson get into a rhythm. 3 strikeouts in the first 4 batters. Get on base somehow. It's 1-1 to Corliss. Strike 2. Corliss hit his first home run of the season last Sunday, a week ago Sunday against Melrose. 2 for 3 with run 4 RBIs, a run scored in that game. Entering play, banked 256 with a 774 OPS. He's behind 1-2, and he fouls this one off. Had a hit in the comeback win against the Bulldogs last Monday, but is 0 for his last 5 with a walk and a strikeout against Malden and Andre. 1-2 still the count with Elberry at first. Second as many games with the Blue Sox for Elberry, and a good job by Corliss to spoil that one, and a surprise ricochet back to home plate for Quezada to fire that one back to Johnson. Looked at first for a moment to see if Elberry was drifting a little bit, but he is not. 1-2 the count. 3-0 our score. Expos on top. RBI single by Giannis Quezada, and then a 2-run piece to right center by Leon Paulino in the bottom of the first. The difference right now, Corliss into right field, and that will get down all the way to the fence. They are waving Elberry around third. He will score standing up, and it's a triple for Corliss. 3-1. Well, hang on. They actually might put Corliss. They might freeze Corliss at third. I think they're calling it an automatic double. Yeah, that looks to be the ruling. So, we're putting Elberry back at third and Corliss at second. So, it is not 3-1. It's second and third now. Corliss gets a double. Elberry's at third. So, hold the phone. 2 runners in scoring position now and 1 out for Andrew Salima, who was going to step to the plate representing the tying run anyway. And let's see what Salima has in store. On the outside corner for strike 1. So the Blue Sox not on the board just yet, but now Salima with a chance. Swing and a miss. My fastball like Maxwell. Maybe a way off balance there. Salima looking for his 6th RBI of the season, but comes up empty. Swings and misses. 2 down now. Runner still at second and third. Now it's up to Pat Casserly. As Salima was entered play at .316 on the season, but hitless the last time he played against Malden, as was the Blue Sox lineup. Comes up empty there. Little flare to left center field, and that'll get down for a base hit. It will score at least one, and it'll score two as the throw back into the infield is kind of yanked towards the first base side. 2-run single for Pat Casserly. Elberry and Corliss score. The Blue Sox do get something out of the inning after all. 3-2. We got a game, folks. So the inning continues. And here is Nate Wolf. Swings and misses, trying to give the Blue Sox the lead with one swing of the bat. 0-1. Fouls that one straight back. He's behind 0-2. Wolfman was 0 for 1 with a run scored and 2 walks against the Chiefs on June 28th. Looking for his first hit since last Sunday when he went 1 for 2 with 2 runs and a walk against the Americans. Downstairs, ball 1. 1-2 to Nate Wolf. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. Well, Nick's up to 5 strikeouts already through 2 innings, but the Blue Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave a man at first. Striking out 5 times through 2 innings, but still able to score 2 runs and not out of it yet. Sounds like me playing Diamond Dynasty on the show. $1.50 of the books, 3-2 Expos. Seriously, there was a game the other day I was playing in the show where it was like, I had no business, winning the game by as much as I did. Dude had 12, 13 strikeouts through 5 innings, but I won the game 10-1. Running away with it, but yeah. Anderson at short. All right, so we are going to have a change for the Blue Sox as Anderson Jimenez is taken over at shortstop for Morgan Brown, who played the bottom of the first, but will get a turn at bat. So Anderson at short now for Brown. First pitch is fouled off for strike 1 to Jose Paulino. Two and 1 the count. Couple of close pitches after that foul off, but want it back out there for second inning work. Unable to get the call on either, and that'll be strike 2 to Paulino, who will be followed by Colucci and Oliveira. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sammy Steed says, complete the play, please, and Corliss obliges. 1 down. I'm going to have to brighten the camera again. bringing up while the inning's going on. I don't know what happened last time, Blue Sox fans. Strike one to Angelo Colucci. Ball one to Angelo Colucci. Fouled off. 1-2. Well, Blue Sox fans are out in force in the who you got, Paul. 2 runs in the top half of this inning to get back into it. It's still 3-2 Expos, though. Colucci takes ball 2 to even the count. Fouled off. Colucci entering play, slashing 300, 440, 300. No extra base hits, 1 RBI, 4 walks to 3 strikeouts. As I mentioned, how many of their big hitters, walk more than they strike out. This is grounded to second. Little's got it on to first, 2 down. As a team, they strike out more than they walk, 71-90. But entering play, Cloutier 11-10, Taveras 6-5, Consigli 6-3. What you want to see from your top producers. Upstairs for ball 1. Michael Oliveira at the plate. Little liner just over the leaping third baseman. Albury's reach. Oh, and it gets by the left fielder Johnson, and now Oliveira is on his way to third. Here's the relay. It will be cut off. Oh, a brutal misplay in left by Johnson. You might be able to live with Oliveira being at first, but he's now at third, and the lineup turns over for Taveras. He popped up to short, leading off the bottom of the first. He swings at the first pitch, trying to make it hurt, as Consigli was telling him in the on-deck circle, but strike 1. 0-for-1 is Taveras. Want it, trying to avoid getting burned there, but he's ahead of Taveras now. 0-2, but in the first inning, he had Mazzoni to 2 strikes. He had Mazzoni to 2 strikes. He got him, but Quezada singled home a run, and then Paulino, he didn't have to worry about 2 strikes. Paulino just sent it early in the first pitch, and Cloutier with a hit by pitch on a 2-strike pitch as well. Full count, I think it was, but you got to put these batters away. Even great batters like those in the Expos lineup with 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is exactly what Wanted does there for his 3rd strikeout. And the side is retired. The Expos leave a man at third. It's still 3-2 Expos after 2 complete.
Oh, I absolutely would, actually.
Help yourself. Saturday before you know, right?
It's even worse at LHS, though. Like the whole campus is based around heat fog, Especially where I have to sit, Gotta get the ankles. No, yeah. Just gotta turn up the f-stop. All right. Please be kind.
Batter, please.
This is the politest I've ever heard you be in your life, Sammy. Love you, man.
So, after coming in defensively for Morgan Brown, the bottom of the second here is Anderson Jimenez to lead off the top of the third. He'll be followed by Ernie Little and Austin Maisel. Nick Johnson back to work. 5 strikeouts through 2 innings, but 2 runs on 3 hits in the top of the second. The Blue Sox back in it. As we go to the top of the third, and Anderson comes up empty for strike 1. I mean, when a guy, is blowing you away with first pitch fastballs, you want to go up there and ambush one, but he got him fishing up and away. Now gets him fishing there to make it 0-2. Fouled off. Jimenez playing in his 11th game of the season. Only game he's missed so far was on June 22nd against Melrose. The last loss here on the Blue Sox YouTube baseball network before Todd Laniars and Bruce Hack filled in while I was getting hitched and everything. But Anderson comes up empty there. Strikeout number 6 already for Nick Johnson. 1 up, 1 down. He has gotten the leadoff man by way of the K in each of the first 3 innings. And the lineup turns over for Ernie Fresh. Ernie Little with a strikeout to begin the ball game. Outside. Ball 1. Anderson, before that strikeout, was entering play batting .320 with a .753 OPS, no extra base hits, and 4 ribbies. Ernie fouls that one off. The count will be 1-1. If you're wondering why Ernie Fresh, well, as soon as we're able to get a sound system going at center field again, I'm thinking of making, I know Ernie can request whatever song he wants, and he can beat out anything he wants with speed like that on hits like that. Infield single for Ernie. 1 on, 1 out here. Picks up his first hit of the ball game and hit number 4 for the Blue Sox, who are even in the hit column, actually ahead of, no, even in the hit column with the Expos right now. But the song I was thinking of, I would share with Ernie if you want it for his walk-up music, is a song called "The Sideshow" by DJ Shadow off his album "The Mountain Will Fall." Now, DJ Shadow is just a DJ and a producer. He doesn't, rap, but he has a guest verse from a relatively little-known rapper, I believe from the Bay Area. His name, and he goes by Ernie Fresh, and it's a pretty good, and it slaps. It slaps. 0-1 the count to Austin Maisel, looking to slap one down the line maybe and bring home Ernie for an equalizer. He is even the count 1-1 as he takes that one outside. Popped up to third his first time up. The 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first is the only 1-2-3 inning we have had so far. Maisel up the middle and through for a base hit. So first and second, 1 down for the Blue Sox, tying run in scoring position. And here comes King Julian. Well, I mentioned Jules being the best hitter for the Blue Sox in the first half. Entering play tonight, his slash line is 407, 515, 889. It's a 1404 OPS. 4 doubles, 3 homers, 11 ribbies, 6 walks to 3 strikeouts. That's entering play tonight. Of course, he struck out swinging his first time up tonight. He will take strike 1 on the outside corner. 0-1, trying to bring home at least 1 here to at least tie the game and maybe give the Blue Sox the lead if you can get a hold of 1. was trying to send that one over to Melrose, where the Chiefs and Americans are playing tonight. If it lands in Juan Parra's glove while he's playing in the outfield at Morelli, is that an out for Julian? Ball one. Little at second, Maisel at first. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. And with first base occupied, no chance to try and run it out. So Alvarez down on strikes for the second time, and it'll be up to DJ. Try and bring something home and start this game over. DJ with a strikeout leading off the second. Chops this one to the right side, flip to the pitcher covering for the out. And that retires the side. So the Blue Sox get first and second with one out, but cannot bring them home. And I just want to point out a little factoid here about Julian as we go to the bottom of the third, and it's still 3-2 Expos. So I mentioned Julian entering play 6 walks to 3 strikeouts. He now has 5 strikeouts on the season. So this is not only his first multi-strikeout game of the season. Every time he struck out this season has been in the last 4 games, dating back to last Monday. Last Monday against Lexington. That was against the Lexington Bulldogs. That was the first time he struck out all season, and one strikeout each in the games against Malden and Andre. Now 2 tonight, so he has struck out 5 times in the last 3+ games. 5 times in now his last 10 at bats. So he still managed to, pick up a couple of hits, couple of walks, 2 more RBIs, and a double along the way. So it's not a total loss, but I guess the rest of the ICL's finally figured out how to get a ball by Julian. And Sammy Steed directing traffic as we're going to the bottom of the third. Matt Consigli, Andrew Mazzoni, and Giannis Cazada due up here. Want it, delivers strike 1, fouled into the screen above the backstop. Consigli got the first base hit of the ball game with a 1-out single, then stole second and came around to score on Cazada's RBI single. A swing and a miss. 0-2 to Consigli. Grounder to the right side. Little's got it. Throw on to first. 1 down. And here's Andrew Mazzoni. Struck out swinging his first time up. The Balmer accent that I'm doing here, it's a joke that goes on with like Scott Van Pelt and Tim Kirkjian on when Scott Van Pelt's hosting SportsCenter, because they're both from Maryland. I like to make fun of the Baltimore accent. One and 0 to Mazzoni. Fouled off 1-1. I mean, any name with, strong vowel pronunciations is funnier in a Balmer accent. Some of the ricochets these foul balls take off the various facings here at Maplewood. It's a little entertaining. Don't get credit for an out, though. This ain't arena football, arena baseball, whatever you want to call it. 1-2. Ooh, Corliss, I mean, who's outside, tried to frame it, but Sammy Steed's not a Hall of Fame, ICL Hall of Fame pitcher for no reason. 2-2. Into left center field. And Johnson's got it for out number 2. I don't know. This is it's tough when you got, a smaller park, and, stuff that doesn't sound great off the bat will carry out or, be extra bases, and stuff that sounds like, a perfect in the show, just a line drive or, a loud fly out or whatever. Again, how can you not be romantic about baseball? 2-0 the count to Giannis Quezada. RBI single and a run scored. Back in the first. Fouls that one off. 2-1. So want it. I mean, he got the 3 runs in the the first inning off of him, and that is huge for the Expos. As Quezada stumbles out of the box, grounding that one to third, off-balance throw, and they still got him! Jake Elberry. The stumble out of the box with the ball tying him up inside, bought him enough time to throw him out. The side is retired. First 1-2-3 inning of the game for Wannett. 3-2 after 3. Boy, but even with the stumble by Quezada out of the box, it just looked like it was taking it to be a base hit just because the way it was hit. Elberry had to fire quickly, and he got him. So kudos to Jake for great defensive play to secure the 1-2-3 inning and not give Paulino a chance for another 2-run piece. At least in that inning, and we'll be leading off the 4th, and we'll see if he'll try and go ranch again. But as we go to the top of the 4th, it will be Elberry off the phenomenal defensive play, followed by Corliss and Salima. Chiefs and Americans, as I mentioned, over at Morelli tonight. That's the only other game on the ICL schedule tonight. The Mad Dogs and the Bulldogs are off tonight. They both have home games tomorrow, with the Bulldogs hosting the Chiefs and the Mad Dogs hosting the Americans. There isn't another night the rest of the season where all 6 teams in the ICL are in action. But, of course, that could change depending on weather-related or other reasons for rescheduling. So here we go to the top of the 4th. Jake Elberry off the fine defensive play on the off-balance throw. And a single run scored his first time up. And he fouls it off for strike 1. We still got sky booms. Come on, man. Boy, good thing Tina isn't here. Right, Katrina? Tina's my greyhound, by the way. Our greyhound. Hi, Tina. Father loves you. Elberry does not love that call. 0-2. Elberry, Corliss, and Salima due up here in the top of the 4th. Spike to the plate. And Did that get you, Sammy? Or just protecting yourself? 1 and 2. Flashbacks to a couple weeks ago. A pitch got spiked in the dirt and then caught the home plate umpire in the throat. And I thought he was having a heart attack or something, but he was okay. And that's why we have someone like Mark Leary around here in the Blue Sox organization. Mark started in the Blue Sox organization as a bat boy, and as his baseball career progressed at Archbishop Williams, and then he went to Mass Maritime Academy, and another jack of all trades, but has first aid training. He's an EMT. I think he's an EMT. Is that way? I believe that's. I gotta get Mark on. I've offered Mark, the second headset before. He's declined, but anyways, Elberry strikes out swinging. I don't know, man. I got a lot of it. I have to keep track of too many people. I don't get to just cover one team a whole year, Here's Corliss. Thought he had an RBI triple his first time. I've got Frozen at second with a double, but was still able to still came around to score, as did Elberry on Casserly's single. He's behind 0-1 here. Swing and a miss. 0-2, and I'm trying to figure out if that was a firework or lightning. It's probably too small. It's a firework. Way beyond center of field. It's way too small to be lightning. Lightning will probably light up more of the sky. Taken down the pipe for strike 3 called. And Corliss, that is the first called third strike of the night for Nick Johnson. Let's see if maybe he can strike out the side here. Salima struck out swing his first time up. And time called by Cazada. So far, everyone in the Blue Sox lineup has struck out at least once, except Maisel and Casserly. And that is just high for ball one. Maisel 1 for 2 with a pop-up to third and a single. And Casserly yet to take a second turn at bat for singling his first time. But everybody else has struck out at least once, including Julian, striking out twice in one game for the first time this season. 1-1 the count to Salima. 3-2 Expos, top of the fourth. Salima way behind that one. 1-2. Up and in. 2-2. It's coming in hot with a fastball. Salima did not budge. Casserly on deck. Swing and a miss. A perfect 10 now for Nick Johnson. 10 strikeouts as he strikes out the side. 10 Ks through 4 innings. It is 3-2 Expos as we're halfway home. Ten strikeouts through 4 innings, and he is above his pace for his first 3 starts of the season, in which in 7 innings each against the Bulldogs, Mad Dogs, and Chiefs, he struck out 15, 14, and 13 batters. He averages, Nick Johnson does, more than 2 strikeouts a inning, 2.04 to be exact. And right now he's got 10 through 4 innings, translate to 2.5 strikeouts per inning. Had 5 Ks in 2 innings against Malden on June 22nd, his last appearance. been a good job so far by Chris Wannett to stop the bleeding after the 3-run outburst in the bottom of the first by the Expos, which was capped off by the man leading off the bottom of the fourth here, Leon Paulino. It's actually his first plate appearance since that 2-run home run that made it 3-0 Expos. Swings at the first one and fouls it off for strike one. Paulino, Cloutier, and Chava due up here in the bottom of the fourth. Paulino down the right field line, but, it's a little bit of a pull there. Last minute ride on that ball into right field, but Alvarez able to haul it in, and Paulino is retired. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the fourth. So that makes the third, I shouldn't say the third, because Wannett's gotten the leadoff man in each of the first 4 innings now. Just that one hiccup in the first, and if you're the Blue Sox, you hope that doesn't end up being the difference. As Cloutier fouls off the first pitch for strike one. Hit by a pitch his first time up. Swing and a miss, and he's behind 0-2. Now, remember, Wannett hasn't gone more than 4 innings in any appearance this season. And considering what happened the last time the Blue Sox and Expos faced off and Wannett started for the Blue Sox, if you're a Blue Sox fan, you hope he can at least start the 5th. This will go foul. Especially after, a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 7th, trying to close out a win against the Chiefs before the break, How much do you trust your bullpen? The other way, and down in front of Alvarez for a base hit. Another weird turn there, this time off the turf, as opposed to in the air, but he's able to keep it close to him and prevent extra bases. So a single now for Cloutier. He has been on base twice tonight. 1 on, 1 out. George Chava to the plate. Didn't get his stat line, but last time he came up, he's the slash line of 286, 412, 286. No extra base hits this year, 3 RBIs. He's going to try and bunt his way on, but it is a foul ball. For strike one. No extra base hits for Chava. 8 hits in 28 at-bats with 1 walk to 5 walks to 5 strikeouts, 3 ribbies. And he's 9 of 11 in stolen base attempts. So you can see, him trying to use the wheels to his advantage to try and make it maybe first and second. 1 out, or at the very least get Cloutier into scoring position. Cloutier's not a bad runner in his own right. I'll check on him, and he's back safely. Up and away for ball 1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Runner goes, pitches outside, throw down to second. Got him. Kind of a subtle out call there by the base umpire, but Corliss snags Cloutier. Two and two, 2 outs now, bases empty, and fouled out of play. So 3-2, and no longer a runner on base. Oh no, they're still setting off fireworks at near our home too. People setting off fireworks close to our street or on our street last couple of nights. I mean, more dogs go missing on the 4th of July. More pets in general go missing on the 4th of July than any other day of the year. Still 2-2. George Chava grounds this one to first. He's a fast one. It'll be a foot race. They got him. Feet first slide into first, but not enough. As it'll be 3 unassisted. Nader with the put out there to retire the side. Not a true 1-2-3 inning, but for the second consecutive inning, Wannett faces the minimum. So as we go to the 5th, with the score still 3-2 Expos, going to be interesting to see how pitching game plays out the rest of the way. Knowing Johnson has 3 complete games under his belt. He's out there to start the 5th. No shock at all. But what does Rick DeAngelis do on his end? He's wanted only good for 4. We see him at least to start the 5th. He only given who's due up in the bottom of the 5th for the Expos. I mean, the bottom 3 hitters in the Expos lineup could be the top 3 hitters in a lot of teams' lineup. So it's, not, but, no disrespect to them, but, if Wannett thinks he can go for the bottom of the 5th, he has to face the bottom 3 hitters in the order. And if you want to at least try to get something out of him there, that's where you do it. But third batter due up with Oliveira has a triple off of him. Casserly to lead things off to be followed by Wolf and Jimenez. Casserly 2-run single, his first time up. That drove home so far the only runs for the Blue Sox. 0-1 the count. Every Blue Sox batter has struck out at least once except for Casserly. And here in his second at-bat, he's behind 0-2, and Johnson may be about to sample the whole menu. He's ahead of Casserly 0-2. Nate Wolf is on deck. Jimenez to fall if anyone gets on. Ernie Little, the 0-2 pitch. Number 11. And every Blue Sox batter has struck out, struck out at least once, except for Austin Maisel. My bad. But, caught that there, but Maisel would be due up 5th this inning. Strikeout number 11. Remember, season high for Johnson, 15 in his first start of the season. Nate Wolf. That wasn't supposed to happen. Oh, and 1 foul ball just snuck through the protective netting and landed harmlessly at my feet, thankfully. But over Memorial Day weekend, I was working a travel ball tournament at RIC, and foul ball came through the open window in the press box, nearly decapitated myself and the official scorer. 1-2. Nate Wolf, open a void, going down strikes for the second time. Feels like, I don't know, when Johnson's going good, it feels like a win just to, take a ball off of him. or do that. There have been no errors in this game, but you want to be able to put the ball in play and, make the defense work, make them earn the outs. 2-2. Sometimes, if you're a defender, behind a pitcher like Johnson, you don't want to get complacent. Like, I'll strike everybody out. We'll strike everybody out. We'll be fine. If it's just a base hit, whatever. We'll just get it back into the infield. But not that easy. Not everyone can be like Rube Waddell or Satchel Paige or anything. It's one of the most hilarious things that's in this year's MLB The Show game, by the way. In one of the moments that you play as Satchel Paige, you have to strike out 3 batters in a row, and you literally have to strike them out because Satchel Paige in the moment that you will play will send his fielders off the field, except for the catcher, of course. Outside corner, strike 3 called. And at this point, Nick Johnson might want to do just that. He has now struck out 5 in a row, 6 of the last 7, retired 7 in a row since Mazel's single back in the 3rd. Here's Anderson Jimenez. Going to try and bunt his way on. Good charge at 3rd, and he bobbled the throw. Consigli, I don't think he was going to beat him out anyway, and lucky for the Expos, the ball slipped out of his hand as he was cocking his hand back to throw, and luckily both Johnson and Casado were there to make sure Jimenez didn't get further than first. You'd actually rather that happen than see Consigli airmail it down the right field line. But Jimenez is aboard. I mean, under normal circumstances, you say, well, do what you can to get the guy to work from the stretch. But Anderson's been working from the stretch. Johnson's been working from the stretch the whole game. Lineup turns over for Little. Singles last time up. He's 1 for 2. He's going to try and butt his way on. And he caught it. Johnson was ready. Came in. Was dying quick. But he gets the out. Side is retired. Again, make the defense work for it. I mean, we're not talking about breaking the unwritten rules and, bunting to break up a no-hitter, right? Yes. There's at least E7? All right. Listen, man. The ball could take weird turns off this turf, okay? You know it, too. I will defer to Bruce. I did not see it Buckner DJ out there, okay? No, I understand. I'm not saying you're wrong. All right, so there has been an error in this game. Whatever. Oof. Appreciate it, Sammy. All right, so single E7s. That's so. Regardless, Anderson didn't get burned for. Johnson didn't get burned for it. Anyways, so it's bottom of the 5th, 3-2. All right, we are gonna close the polls, folks. Stop the count. And 80% think the Blue Sox are going to win this one, but we'll see if that holds up. Here's the Expos. Lead 3-2 going to the bottom of the 5th. The bottom 3 hitters in the order due up. Paulino, Colucci, and Oliveira. And New Noodle out there on the mound for the Blue Sox. Pat McGowan out there for his 4th appearance of the season. McGowan is 0-2 with a 1.17 ERA. His first appearance against the Expos this season. Last pitched against Malden on June 28th, went 3 innings, allowed no hits, runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, no homers. As that'll be on the outside corner for strike 1 to Jose Paulino, who struck out swinging his first time up to begin the 2nd. One and one. Oh, that'll strain your back. 1-2. So Chris Wannett would be in a line for the loss if the Blue Sox cannot pull even, but he finishes with 4 innings, 3 runs, all of which were in the first and all of which were earned. 3 runs on 5 hits rather. 1 hit batsman, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. Check swing, down and away, appeal, nothing, full count. Again, 4 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 hit batsman. No walks, 3 Ks. 4 Wannett. Check, swing, appeal, maybe? Nothing. And this is the first time tonight that the Expos have had the leadoff man aboard. Amazing. Paulino draws the walk. First walk of the game for the Expos. First time to get the leadoff man aboard. And we'll see if Colucci will drop one down here. Now he'll swing and foul tip it into Corliss' mitt for strike 1. Colucci grounded out to second his first time up. Paulino at first after picking up the walk. 3-2 pitch. Appeal was denied. Up and away for ball 1. Keeping track at home, Paulino, only a 148 hitter, but with 9 walks entering play. Now picking up his 10th walk of the season there. Oh, second hit batsman of the game as Colucci is plunked on a 1-1. First and second, nobody out. Michael Oliveira, who had not a triple, but a single and a 2-base E7 to get to third with 2 outs in the second. Might be a bona fide sack bunt situation here. So Jose Paulino with his 10th walk, he has 10 walks this season compared to just 4 hits, none of which have been for extra bases, plus 3 ribbies. And on-base percentage is the stat you want, folks. Because why? Gets on base. And hang on a second. Rick DeAngelis is going out to the mound. Whole infield coming in. Oliveira facing first and second. Nobody out. Taveras, who's 0 for 2, behind him. And then Consigli and Mazzoni, who's due. And yeah, 0 for 2 in one game. You feel like, oh, whoop-de-doo, he's due. But Andrew Mazzoni we're talking about, so. You're the Blue Sox here. You like to get out of this inning before Mazzoni comes to the bat. You can't expect him to go Do you really expect him to go 0 for 3 in a big game like this? Here we go. Oliveira with the corner infielders in, squares, offers at it for strike one, throw down to second. It's spiked into center field, but a late read will hold the runners. Oh, Paulino was still looking at the turf when that ball got into center field. So it's 0-1. The runners stay where they are. Another chance here, though, for Oliveira to try and advance them. Squares again. Gets it down. Throw to third for the force. That is all they will get. McGowan asks for time. So Colucci to second, Oliveira at first. Lineup turns over for Edelson Taveras. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back for strike one. That plate appearance, anyways, couldn't have gone any better for the Blue Sox. Dodge a bullet with the throw into center field, trying to nab Paulino, but they get Paulino anyways on the bunt going to third. 0-2. Taveras pop up to short in the first. Strikeout swinging in the second. Jose Paulino leading this inning off with his 10th walk of the season. Then Colucci gets plunked on a 1-1. Setting up Oliveira for one of the most obvious sack bunt situations in the history of the sport, and just becomes a 1-5 fielder's choice. Up and away. 1-2 with Taveras' speed. And before it got to 2 strikes, I wouldn't blame him for maybe trying to lay one down, try and catch the defense off guard and maybe load the bases for a bunt hit, but not going that route after. And now it's 0-2. Now it's 1-2. Fouled out of play. For the Blue Sox, this game might not, again, this is game 12. 13 more games after this in July. But you got to get this one, right? You got to have this one. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Taveras down on strikes for the second time. He's 0 for 3. And it's up to Matt Consigli. And we got a timeout here as Sammy Steed saw a stray bat in front of the Blue Sox dugout and tucks it back in there. Here's Consigli, 1 for 2. Singled, stole base, and scored in the first. Grounded out to second in the third. Popped up, but fouling out of play for strike 1. In the top of the 6th, the Blue Sox will have Maisel, Alvarez, and Johnson due up. I see no reason that Nick Johnson won't be coming back after the 6th. Into left field, DJ's going back. He's got it. Sammy Steed corrected me on the scoring of Oliveira's hit back in the second. It wasn't a triple. It was a single and a two-base E7, but DJ's come up with a couple of huge plays since then, including that one to prevent a bases-clearing double for Consigli and put an end to the Expos' threat. Now the question is, can DJ, well, the Blue Sox as a whole, get off the schneid offensively and tie this game as we go to the top of the sixth? Looks like we might have some changes coming up for the Blue Sox. And yeah, we are going to have a new pitcher for the Expos. I was wrong. You were wrong again, Ernie. All right. Jairo Vasquez will take over on the mound for the Expos here in the top of the sixth to face Maisel, Alvarez, and Johnson. Of course, Maisel and Johnson being lefties. Understand the handedness advantage there. Vasquez is making only his second appearance of the season. He got the win back on June 27th against the Bulldogs. Went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. So again, that's 7 outs, all by way of the K. Austin Maisel will lead things off here in the top of the sixth, and he is the he is the only Blue Sox batter who might actually not be happy to see Nick Johnson go after 5 innings. He was the only Blue Sox batter to not strike out against him. 1 for 2 with a single in the third, a pop up to third in the first. So Vasquez, with the first pitch of the sixth, runs inside. He comes up empty for strike 1 against Maisel, Alvarez, and Johnson here in the sixth. Nick Johnson goes 5 innings. He's in line for the win right now. Out of the reach of Vasquez, charged it short by Paulino. Throw! Safe! Leadoff single for Maisel. He's 2 for 3. Well, who cares who they send out there, right? So here is Julian Alvarez. He's definitely glad to see Johnson go. Struck out twice in 2 at-bats against him. First multi-strikeout game of the season by Alvarez and looking to change that. That was kind of looked like he was thrown off just by where Sammy was positioned, but looked like he was going to try and pick off Mazel first. I don't know. But anyways, 0-1 the count to Alvarez. Big leg kick. Yeah, that'll do it. Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Alvarez. DJ is on deck. He is on deck circle next to the Expos dugout. Throw to first. It goes off the first baseman's glove. Mazel will get to second. Runner in scoring position now. First error of the game committed by the Expos. Can Alvarez take advantage? Doesn't change the count. Still 0-2 to Jules. Grounder to the left side. Mazel gets back to second. Throw to first. In time. One down. You put it in, at that point, you want to put it in play, but with a righty like Alvarez, you want to put it in play to the opposite side. Make the second baseman go after it. That at least you can. These are a chance of getting Mazel to third at that point. But Mazel is still at second. One out. DJ Johnson. Vasquez taking a long time to come set, and DJ calls for time, and now Quezada is going out to have a word with Vasquez. Still haven't been able to give you Nick Johnson's full line, but it is obviously impressive. That's 5 innings, allows 2 runs on 6 hits. Just high for ball 1. 1-0. $12 Ks in 5 innings. Still above his season clip. For Nick Johnson. That's on the outside corner for strike 1. It's about high, but it's on the outside corner. And seeing a big spot. DJ looking for the perfect pitch to clobber. Remember, he hasn't even had an RBI since that solo shot against Reading on opening night. 2-1. Vasquez looks at second, comes home with it. Way outside. 3-1. The cutter is supposed to, go out, have glove side run from a lefty, glove side run, but it kind of looked like I had a 2-seam motion. I was stayed outside, wasn't that? That wasn't the issue. 3-1. At the knees, strike 2. DJ struck out swinging to lead off the second. Grounded out to Johnson, to Nick Johnson, that is, in the third. Ground out the third. I'll check the scoring on that again. swing and a miss, but it gets away from Cazada, and everybody's going to be safe. Swing now and run. Hey, Ross Curley, how you doing? I mean, maybe a... Well. So a wild pitch puts Maisel at third and Johnson at first, despite the strikeout. And now here's Jake Elberry. 1 for 2, single run scored in the second, strikeout swinging in the fourth. Johnson talking to his teammates. Throw down to third. Oh, it bounces off the third baseman's glove, and in comes Maisel with a tying run, and now Johnson's into third. Wow. Are you kidding me? Johnson was yucking it up with his teammates. He waved out, wave it off, I don't know, some kind of trash talk from his own teammates. And he takes off. Cazada then throws to third, trying to prevent the double steal, and it goes off the glove of Consigli, and we are tied. And this is a broken back grounder to the left side, and that is bobbled by Consigli into left field. The Blue Sox lead. Into second is Elberry. Are you not entertained? Mark Leary going out there to, I guess, give Elberry his oven mitt or whatever. Here is Corliss. Corliss fouls that one off for strike one. No language can describe the sequence we just saw. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Johnson scores. Maisel scores on the botched caught stealing attempt. Botched pickoff attempt. Johnson scores. This is just absurd. What? How do you... That's got to be a single. It's got to be a double, actually, for Elberry and RBI, right? Because, just the way the ball was hit and turned, you can't fault Consigli for that, can you? I don't know. It's 1-1. Still only one out in the inning. Corliss at the plate. 1 for 2 with a double, a run scored, and a strikeout looking. The Blue Sox have their first lead of the game. Fouled off to the right, and it'll drop for a strike. And it's giving it a good run was Chava, but 1-2. Chaya, not Chala, excuse me. 2-2. Salima's spot is due up next. There's a pinch hitter. I believe that's Ramirez. Went down and in to foul that one off. Still 2-2. Boy, and after some chaos, suddenly we got a battle here between Corliss and Vasquez. Down and in, and the count fills. Runner at second is Elberry. With one out and a full count to Corliss, Giancarlos Ramirez is in the on-deck circle to bat for Salima. Vasquez slowing down the pace here. Big pitch looming. Into center field. It is gone! Craig Corliss with a two-run piece to the deepest, shallowest part of the yard. Six-3. Why would you try to pull the ball in this park? Come on. The Blue Sox explode for 4 runs here in the top of the 6th. Hey, Danny Graham, how you doing? Giancarlos Ramirez takes on the inside corner for strike one. Ramirez is playing in his 4th game of the season. As that goes to the backstop, 1-1. He was 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer against the Bulldogs on June 26th. But was 0 for 3 in his last appearance against the Chiefs. Swing and a miss. The count is 1-2. It's a walk-off home run at that Ramirez hit in that win over the Bulldogs. Count is even, 2-2. Just below the knees, full count again. Still only 1 out in the inning. Casserly due up next. Called strike 3. 2 down. So after Salima goes 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, Ramirez strikes out in his first plate appearance. And here is Casserly. Casserly comes up empty there for strike 1. In the bottom of the 6th, heart of the order due up for the Expos, Mazzoni, Casada, and Paulino. Popped up into right field. And that'll be caught by Chaya for out number 3. But the Blue Sox explode for 4 runs on 3 hits, capped off by the 2-run shot to dead center by Craig Corliss to give them a 6-3 lead after 5.5. We have a final score at Morelli, by the way. The Andre Chiefs have defeated the Melrose Americans 4-3, and the Chiefs do it with 3 runs in the top of the 7th down to their final 3 outs. Chiefs actually led that game 1-0 after half an inning. Americans got 3 in the bottom of the 2nd, and that was it until the 7th when the the Chiefs came alive to steal the victory at Morelli. So with that win, Andre becomes the 2nd team in the ICL this year with 10 wins. They're now 10-4, 20 points. 2 points behind the Expos, and Chiefs rooting for the Blue Sox here to try and ensure that they get the full 2 points closer to the Expos, or Expos can maybe tie or get the lead back. They would maintain a 4-point lead. The Blue Sox, if they win, they'll get back to 500, and they would leapfrog the Americans in the standings with 12 points. They would be 6-6. But again, that's if this holds up. And it's been a fun game, but we've still got an inning to play. We are now in the bottom of the 6th. And Andrew Mazzoni is going to lead it off. And Ryan O'Rourke takes them out. So McGowan goes 1 inning. After one it goes 4. So one is off the hook. And it's now McGowan's game to win as O'Rourke makes his 5th appearance of the season. And this is lined into center field. And it's kept in the park. Throws it into second. Safe. It's a double for Mazzoni. I mean, great job by Maisel. It looked like it was about to go out, but just died short of the track, and Maisel almost got him. Mazzoni, I mean, even with a lefty up, you knew Mazzoni couldn't be kept out of the stat sheet that long. He picks up the double. Runner in scoring position to begin the inning. Mazzoni now 1 for 3. Here's Cazada, 1 for 2. RBI single, run scored in the first, ground out to third in the third. He takes ball 1. I'll give you O'Rourke's stats. Just a moment. Working from the stretch already. Inside corner, evens the count at 1 as some more fireworks go off. Holiday's over, kids. Go to bed. O'Rourke worked 2 innings against Andre on June 28th after 3 appearances of an inning each beforehand. It is now 2-1. He has not allowed a run so far, only 2 hits, both of which coming against the Chiefs on the 28th. 3 strikeouts in 5 innings so far. No walks. Cazada gets a hold of that one, pitches the bat into left center field. It is gone. Where is it is the question. Or wherever it is now in the run column for the Expos as they are within one. It's 6-5. Quezada with his second hit, his second and third RBIs, and his second run of the game. Well, you're the Blue Sox guys say, so what? And, we got a stoppage here. Mark Leary's going out into the outfield to talk to the Blue Sox outfielders. I'm trying to figure out if it's Maisel or who might be roughed up here. And I'm trying to say, are we going to have a defensive change here? I mean, this buys Corliss and O'Rourke some time to say, hey, you know what? They're still down a run. Let's just get these next three and get out it and go to the seventh. But it's, easier said than done, obviously, because you got to get Paulino, Cloutier, and Chaya. Not a single easy out in the Expos lineup. Mark Leary's coming back to the dugout. Doesn't have anyone moving slowly with him in tow, so I think we're good to go. All right. So no changes. So no changes for the Blue Sox, it looks like. As here is Leon Paulino. High for ball one, way high. Still nobody out in the inning. The Expos getting 2 runs here on the home run by Quezada after the double by Mazzoni. And that's high for ball 2. 2-0. Boy, home run will really rattle you, huh? So Quezada, it's a swing and a miss for strike one. Quezada picks up his second home run of the season, and he's now got 6 RBIs. He had 3 RBIs all season coming in, and tonight he has 3 in this game alone. And it's now all of a sudden 3-1 to Leon Paulino. 2-run home run his first time up, and then a fly out to left in the 4th. O'Rourke delivers. Grounder to first. Wolf, 1 down. So Paulino's now 1 for 3, and here's Cloutier. Paulino's home run, by the way. Strike 1 to Cloutier. Paulino's home run was his 3rd of the season, and he's now up to 10 RBIs. Swing and a miss. The count is 0-2 to Cloutier, who was hit by a pitch in the 1st and singled in the 4th. O'Rourke winds and delivers. Bounces to the plate and to the backstop, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. And George Chaya will come to the plate. Had a eventful kind of game tonight. 0 for 2 at the plate. Fly to left, ground to first. So that's at the top of the zone for strike 1. In the bottom of the, the top of the 7th, the Blue Sox. Second. So that's fouled off. We'll have Wolf, Jimenez, and Little due up. Nine, 10, and 1 in the batting order. just high for ball one. 1-2 the count to Chaya. Expos going to stick. Question is, the Expos going to stick with Vasquez, or they trot someone out for the top of the 7th? I mean, if you trust Vasquez to go back out there, you got 2 lefties behind him, and then got Maisel behind Little, but, you know, don't want to see that was up the middle and through for a base hit. All right. So 1-2 with 2 outs, and O'Rourke cannot put away Chaya. He picks up his first hit of the ball game. Here is Jose Paulino. Strikeout to lead off the 2nd. And a walk leading off the 5th, and was forced out at 3rd as the Expos tried to get some insurance in the bottom of the 5th. They came up empty, and the Blue Sox grabbed 4 in the top half of this thing to take the lead for the first time. But the Expos get 2 runs to start the inning, and now the tying run at first with good wheels in Chaya, as it's on the outside corner for strike 1 to even the count. Paulino, again, with his walk, he now has 10 walks on the season compared to just 4 hits. Right now, you know, he'll take him getting on base any way you can to keep the line moving, get the tying run into scoring position. Time called by Paulino. I say, kicking myself for talking about making the 2 lefties comment, but I mean, leading off the inning with a lefty like Wolf. As that's down and away, Corliss fires it down to second, no chance. Well, you get the runner into scoring position anyway. 2-1 as Chaya picks up the steal. And now a base hit could tie this ball game. Two and one the count to Paulino, with Chaya in scoring position after the steal. He's going for third. It's fouled off. Two and two the count. Yeah. I think those two are out of commission, Sammy. All right, 2 and 2. 2 outs, 1-run ball game. Runner in tying run scoring position for the Expos in a huge game here. Now for both teams, the Expos got a win to stay 4 points ahead of Andre. Blue Sox, they pick up the win. They'll be at 500 and get past the Americans for third. The appeal again denied. Full count now to Paulino. Colucci on deck. Runner goes. He went around. Corliss hung on to it too. So won't be forced to throw him out at first. The side is retired. 2 big strikeouts for O'Rourke. And despite the 2-run piece by Quezada, he manages to keep the Blue Sox in the lead as we go to the 7th. Blue Sox still leading, but now only by 1, 6-5. looks like the Expos do trust Vasquez to go back out there and keep it within one.
Batter, please.
Honestly, he would join this team. I haven't asked him.
Top of the 7th. Got a pinch hitter for Nate Wolf. It is Brian Acosta, who swings at the first one and comes up empty. 4 strike 1. Vasquez back out there for a second inning of work. Got roughed up for 4 runs in the 6th. Inside corner, strike 2 to Brian Acosta. Acosta up the middle, through for a base hit. That's got to feel good for a kid who's been only 3 for 20 on the season, 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. He picks up his first hit since June 22nd against Melrose. He was 0 for his last 6 before that. 2-strike hitting, no less. Snaps that little mini cold streak. Let's see what Anderson does here with a runner on and nobody out of here in the 7th. We're going to bunt his way on, throw back to first, and now they'll have to throw to second. Hey, got him? Yeah, they got him. Again, a bit of a delayed call there. Some mixed reactions from both dugouts, but Acosta is erased. So 1 down, base is empty for Anderson. He's trying to bunt him over. They'll have to swing the bat now. Well, not there. He's behind 2-0. Ahead 2-0, rather. Vasquez is behind 2-0. Anderson has had all the at-bats in this slot in the order. Morgan Brown played defensively in the first. And by the time it was Morgan's turn at bat, Anderson was already in the field for the second, and so far Anderson is 1 for 2 with a single. A 4-pitch walk to Anderson Jimenez. So they get the runner back on first after all, but obviously not in the way you would have liked it. So, and again, this is why I feel bad for Screw. Man, Ernie. I don't know. When you watch enough competitive baseball, know that a lot of leadoff hitters, bat from the left side. Sometimes you default to that. We see, leadoff man's due up third in the inning, whatever. So I don't know how I screwed that up, but anyways, strike one to Ernie Little, who is 1 for 3. Strikeout in the first, single, and a pop up on a bunt attempt, caught by Nick Johnson to end the 5th. Actually, Anderson's hit was a bunt single too, and obviously it wasn't the whole bunting to break up a no hitter or anything. But it's what you have to do sometimes to break up the rhythm that Johnson was in, but he got chased after that inning, and Vasquez, after the 4 runs he gave up last inning, misses up and away. For ball 1, 1-2 now. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a pitch up and away. 2 down, and Austin Maisel to the plate. Got the party started last inning with a single. Got to second on a error on a pickoff attempt. Got to third on a wild pitch, strike 3, and then scored on another pickoff attempt. I guess, I don't know if you can call it a caught stealing attempt by Quezada, because he wasn't trying to go from third at that point. Johnson basically had second to himself, and Quezada tried to get Maisel at third, and then hit it off the third baseman's glove and into left field for the tying run. That was just the tying run. 3 more coming home after that. 2-0 now to Maisel. So Maisel's 2 for 3. And he is the only batter in the Blue Sox lineup who's not struck out tonight. In the bottom of the 7th, the Expos will be down to their final 3 outs. It's Colucci, Oliveira, and Taveras due up. On the outside corner for strike 1. 2-1 the count. I just said, Maisel's the only Blue Sox batter struck out yet. I hope I'm not going to eat my words here. Jimenez on first after a walk. 2 down. Swing and a miss. Off balance there. I want to be behind a changeup. Tells you you're not seeing it well, and all fastball by him here. Got to be right. 2-2. Down away, full count. So Jimenez will be off with his next pitch, with Jules on deck. 3-2. Got to see some action here, because you do not want to face Alvarez with the game potentially hanging in the balance. That was the same kind of move that resulted in the error that got Maisel to second, but he holds onto the ball here and somehow doesn't commit a balk in the process. Well, came inside and Maisel able to foul it off. You can't just be up there doing a balk like that. Do not do a balk, please. Another 3-2 upcoming to Maisel. Jimenez again to be off of the pitch. 8:06. We're past the 2-hour, 10-minute mark of this game. Comes set, does Vasquez. In the turf for ball 4. It's a walk to put Maisel on for the 3rd time tonight. Second walk of the inning issued by Vasquez. Now, if the Expos had a righty waiting in the wings, I would totally understand, maybe, trying to get Maisel fishing. If not, bring a right to face Alvarez. But maybe like your chance with Alvarez. 2 strikeouts against Johnson and ground out to short last inning for Alvarez. Oh, that could have been the pitch. Strike 1. Blue Sox with 4 runs in the top of the 6th to take a 6-3 lead, but it's only a 6-5 game now. Really want some insurance. Know what happened last time. Blue Sox were leading going into the bottom of the 7th at Maplewood. 3-run comeback by the Chiefs. It's now, back-to-back games at this point that the Chiefs have scored 3 runs down to their final 3 outs to win a game. It's the Blue Sox last week and now the Americans tonight. Oh, Alvarez goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. It's a called 3rd strike on the inside corner. And the Blue Sox leave 2. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Can the Blue Sox close it out? 6-5.
Yes, sir.
Casterly moved to first. So Costa would stay in as the
EH, yep. And who's pitching?
Still running.
Oh, still Ryan, okay.
Javier. Jugamos con ustedes antes, era de ese equipo.
Well, the Red Sox got the win. 4-2. Brian Bello gets his 6th win of the season. He's up to 6-5 on the year. I mean, I can understand him not being an all-star, but why? I feel like, Kenley being the Red Sox lone all-star is the product of, getting squeezed, the Red Sox getting squeezed by the, every team has to have one all-star rule. And, I mean, you feel like it should be a position player, like Massa or Verdugo or Devers. And if it was going to be a pitcher, I don't know, Paxton? Maybe, I don't know. But, I guess, hey, he got his 400th career save. I guess that's good enough, right? Also, I guess starters don't want to, get burned out at the All-Star game. Not that I would expect Paxton or Bayo to start the All-Star games. It's ball 1 to Angelo Colucci with Ryan O'Rourke still out there, and he is back at the count at 1-1 as Colucci comes up empty there. Ground out to second and a hit by pitch on Angelo's record so far tonight. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 against Colucci, Oliveira, and Taveras. 9, 10, and 1. Due up here for the Expos in the bottom of the 7th, down to their final 3 outs. And down to their final 2 outs as Colucci comes up empty. O'Rourke turning up the gas there. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. And that'll be the second baseman, Michael Oliveira. 1 for 2. Single in a two-base E7 in the second, his first at bat, not a triple. And reach on fielder's choice. In the fifth, he comes up empty here for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Don't you love having, former major leaguers like Ryan O'Rourke and Manny Del Carmen on your roster? I mean, who you want to get a fastball blown by a lefty or a righty? 1 and 2. Of course, Manny's got that wicked curveball too. But right now, O'Rourke with a 1-2 count. Pop foul. Job by Oliveira. I mean, hope that O'Rourke's got enough to get through this inning and close down the win. After, kind of a tough bottom of the 6th. It would be a save for O'Rourke if this score holds. But now it's 2 and 2. After the way that 6th started, with a double by Mazzoni and then the 2-run piece by Cazada to turn a 3-run lead into just a 1-run lead, and then the single and try getting into scoring position with 2 outs. But sometimes you just need old reliable. 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th, and Taveras the last hope tonight for the Expos, trying to get on base for the first time tonight. Popped up to short, leading off the bottom of the 1st, then struck out swinging in the 2nd against Wannett, and in the 5th against McGowan. On the outside corner for strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I mean, home run would tie this game, but all you have to do is just get on base. It's only a 1-run game, but O'Rourke working quickly. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Blue Sox are back in the win column. Get their 2nd win of the season here at Maplewood, and they do it against the Sabertooth Expos, their first win of the season against the Expos. The Blue Sox are back at 500 at 6-6. They're at 12 points, and points-wise, anyways, they jump the Americans for 3rd in the ICL as the Americans lost to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs now just 2 points back of the Expos. Yes, sir.
So the Blue Sox now lead this series 6 wins to 5.
All-time series.
Yeah. No team has won 2 in a row. Every game is alternated.
It's been alternated. Okay, so a fun fact here from Bruce Hack that the all-time regular season series between the Blue Sox and Expos now stands at Blue Sox 6, Expos 5, and wins and losses have alternated. Neither team has won consecutive games in the regular season history between these two teams. Love it. Now, the Blue Sox love this 6-5 win that they were propelled to with a 4-run top of the 6th, Craig Corliss, with a 2-run home run to go along with a double. He goes 2 for 3 on the night with 2 runs, 2 ribbies, a double, the home run. Chris Wannett goes 4 innings, allows 3 runs in the 1st, but settles down from there. Pat McGowan gets the win. Ryan O'Rourke gets the save. Jairo Vasquez holds the L, and Blue Sox again at 6-6. The Expos now at 11-3 rather. And Blue Sox back in action. Friday night lights at center field at Lexington High School against the Malden Mad Dogs. And they will want revenge for getting no hit by the Mad Dogs for what was Malden's first win of the season. Like, how do you let that happen to you? Well, I mean, like I say, you got to keep things in perspective, but sometimes all you need is a break. And after the 4th of July, the Blue Sox start off the second half of the season with a statement win against the Expos. Again, Blue Sox now at 6-6, Expos at 11-3. Blue Sox have the Mad Dogs Friday night here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network. First pitch at 8 o'clock. Final time of the game, by the way, was 2 hours and 18 minutes. And the final totals are for the Blue Sox: 6 runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits, and 1 error. And for the Expos, 5 runs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Great win for the Blue Sox here against the Expos at Malden. Again, it's been a bugaboo this season, Maplewood, but they've won here before. They've won again, and they will win again in the future. But it's time to put together a winning streak here to start the second half and see if they can be champions once again. We'll see. All right, so thanks again for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to follow and support the Blue Sox and the Intercity League on the web, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe to this here YouTube channel. Again, the final score from Maplewood Field at Malden Catholic High School in Malden, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 6 and the Sabertooth Expos 5. For all my rowdy friends here at Malden Catholic, my name is Sam Feely.